to the next proposition, which is this. Donald Trump will save the world. Of course, Trump is a very real disaster for everybody on Earth. He's pulled out of the Paris climate deal, probably because he decided he doesn't care what the climate is like in Paris. He's massively stepped up drone strikes, appointed a climate change denier as head of the Environmental Protection Agency, and nullified a bill blocking sales of guns to the mentally ill. But at least now the whole world has a common enemy. Really, we couldn't have had a clearer message that we all need to set aside our differences and work together if America had elected the Daleks. Say what you like about Donald Trump, but he's done things that people said were impossible, like made Twitter worse. I always think Trump speaks a bit like a husband who lost control of the domestic finances in the week before he hangs himself. Yeah, I did some really successful business today. Business meeting, it was really successful. Really? Because Diane said that she saw you down the park. Did a park meeting. Yeah. Some really successful park business kind of time. Rob, do you have any feelings about whether Trump could save the world?
Yeah, I think he will. He's got some Scottish teenager is going to campaign so hard for Corbyn that he'll become the prime minister, I think, by October 15th. And then the US will see that left populists can win in the UK. And then we'll wipe out the GOP Congress in 2018. And then the world will be saved.
Now, one of Trump's proudest moments of his presidency was setting the repeal of Obamacare in motion. Here he is celebrating that victory, surrounded by prominent Republicans. There we go, the cast of Prostate Cancer the Musical. Of course, many Americans don't share Trump's views on Obamacare. Watch how one Republican congressman learned that the hard way in this combative footage.
No one wants anybody to die. You know, that line is so indefensible. Nobody dies because they don't have access to health care.
The only feasible economic plan you have is to build the border wall out of corpses of people you have denied health care to.
It's tough to heckle at a town meeting like that and have it not absorbed as brainstorming.
Corpses for the wall. Can I say how many corpses it is?
Please.
It's 45,000 Americans each year who die directly as a result of not having health insurance. And it's so important to say these numbers because we are going in a similar direction. It's petrifying. But people keep on voting against their interests. It just doesn't make any sense. If you look at the way that every single constituency in the UK voted, constituencies where there was a bigger percentage of people in poor health voted Tory.
Maybe they just want to die.
Yeah.
Get rid of the NHS, I want out of this. Trump makes a lot of gaffes, but take a look at him failing to understand what a metaphor is, something he does quite a lot.
As George W. Bush said, the reason the Oval Office is round is there are no corners you can hide in.
Well, there's truth to that. There's truth to that. There's certainly no corners. And you look, there's a certain openness, but there's nobody out there. You know, there is an openness, but I've never seen anybody out there, actually, as you can imagine.
But what he meant was, it's all comes back to you.
Sure. It does. But I think that's true anyway, but it does.
But what noted moron George W. Bush meant...
But he said it with the resignation of someone who had tried to play hide and seek in there. There's no corners.
So, earlier this year, Trump embarked on his first international tour. While in Saudi Arabia, Trump sent his daughter Ivanka to address a social media conference instead of him. Take a look at this haunting footage of her trying to engage the crowd.
We just came from the opening of a new center to combat terrorism and ideology around terrorism. And we saw that it was built in 30 days. 30 days. That is entrepreneurialism. Once again, we want to thank the Deputy Crown Prince for his vision, his hard work, and for the flawless execution of 2 amazing days here in Saudi Arabia.
I think first off, don't say execution. But like Saudi contractors, but people are essentially slaves.
I think that was a clever choice of words done intentionally, so everyone who was like zoning out because they were bored, like, flawless execution.
But also, honestly, it's actually really, really dark and frightening. It came out this week. Factory workers who assemble her clothing line are paid £130 a month and are so impoverished that they can't even afford to live in the same house as their children. Like, they're just doing absolutely disgusting things.
Yeah.
Or you can see when she arrived in Saudi Arabia and went, oh, this looks good. Melania saw how women were treated in Saudi Arabia and tried to claim asylum, apparently. I wonder about the First Lady, because she seems not a monster like him. As you can see in this news clip from a rally, she's often visibly frightened when public speaking.
Thank you. Let us pray. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed by thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven.
To me, that's just like The Omen 6 or something. That's just the start of some horrendous horror movie. She's living a horror movie. She looks like she's trying to unlearn English.
If you watch old videos of Melania, you're right. She has unlearned English. She is less good at English than she was 10 years ago. And I feel like she's mentally regressing to the time before she knew him. She's now the only Make-A-Wish patron who's also a client.
I wonder if, as she unlearns English, she starts to understand Donald better. Oh, this makes sense.
Yeah.
This life is not a good life. And they show all those photos she takes on her social media, just looking out.
Speaking of that, you know that she has like a First Lady Twitter account. She put up a picture the other day. There we go. Looking forward to the memories we'll make in our new home. Looking forward to the memories. There's someone who's living in the moment. Oh, I can't wait till this is just a memory. She's lit candles in the day, and you can see how they've been blown out just by her screaming at this. Trump sometimes conducts business in a sleazy manner, as this documentary following him around Scotland demonstrates.
Miss Scotland. So you won't be going to the Miss Universe pageant, and who's going? How do you rate her?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
You think she's good?
Yeah.
So do you have your grades?
Oh, I don't know. I think so.
Yeah. Are you from this area? That's not so bad.
Thank you.
She may want to work for.
Sales and stuff. I mean, there's a lot of stuff.
That and stuff is working hard.
The thing is, that is such a good example. I'm not saying anyone in the audience, but people at home, those guys who go up to girls they don't know at bus stops, and the girl politely laughs at you because you're terrifying. That's what it looks like.
Yeah.
Like, she doesn't like you. She's scared.
Yeah.
I don't know
You were naturally drawn to me in his Over the years, Trump has put his name to many products, including in 2007 his own range of steaks. Here's Trump's enthusiastic endorsement for his steaks.
When it comes to great steaks, I've just raised the stakes. Trump steaks are the world's greatest steaks, and I mean that in every sense of the word. One bite, and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. And believe me, I understand steaks. It's my favorite food.
When he says he understands steak, I think he means I understand the word steak. That's actually postal steak. That's what he's selling you. You order steak, and because that's how hunger works. You go, in 5 to 7 days' time, I fancy a steak. Perhaps it'll be left with my neighbour.
I subscribe to Reader's Digest and steak.
Like, that was his business idea to send meat through the post like a fucking kidnapper? Maybe this is his whole plan, though, that he's trying to just get bigger and bigger so he can build his steak brand. And, like, eventually, like, everyone in the world will get a steak. You know, like that U2 album, right, that nobody wanted.
Just don't open the front door.
You open your front door, there's a steak.
Hey, you said he was going to save the world. He just fed everyone.
For the vegetarians.
It's a free steak, Mona.
So to sum up, Donald Trump will save the world. And how is he going to save it? Simple. By destroying all human life. He's going to save the world by fucking every single person who lives on it. Standing in an open robe with his shriveled, spray-tanned ballsack, pulsing expectantly, he points a tiny finger at the future of humanity and beckons it to his massive golden fuckbed. Humanity will form itself into a giant, hopeless vagina. I myself will be the clitoris. Or the anus, I haven't decided yet. Nor do I know if I'll be given the option. All I know for sure is that Trump is going to fuck us all. Every man, woman, dog, rhinoceros, rabbit, hooker, dwarf, chicken, James Corden, the Inuit. I only hope God films it. He could show the footage to other civilizations on other planets, both as a warning or as a bit of a treat. But the Earth itself will survive, and eventually, billions of years from now, the Earth will shake off its shame. Every trace of humanity will be gone, to be replaced by a fresh and wondrous ecology, teeming with life and hope, just in time for it to be obliterated by the exploding sun. And no one will ever know that Donald Trump saved the world, apart from God, of course, until he too forgets when he's eventually consumed by celestial dementia. Just time to thank my guests. Thanks to Sarah Pascoe, Catherine Margot, Delaney, and Mona Chapman. But before I go, I'd like to leave you with this thought. Earlier this month, something extraordinary happened. A 31-year-old climber, Alex Honnold, completed a 3,000-foot rope-free ascent of El Capitan in Yosemite National Park. Impressed as I am by his almost superhuman tenacity, Honnold's grip on that sheer Californian granite is as nothing compared to Theresa May's determination to cling on to power. She has almost no footholds left, only a few weirdly shaped crags of the DUP to claw at with her feverish fingertips. 1,000 feet from the ground with no safety net, no route up or down, just a howling gale of criticism buffeting her from all directions, and yet she hangs on. She has no choice. Cling on or disappear, exist or die. And that's why deep down I admire her. In a way, I love her. Theresa May is all of us, clinging on to our hopeless lives, our shitty dreams. She's locked into an existential rictus of terror, devoid, as we know, of any other human quality except tenacity, having no spark of wit, no warmth, no sincerity, no empathy, nothing except her refusal to let go and tumble away onto the blessed release of the rocks below. What a fucking monster. Good night.